As we read about the horrific and heart-wrenching events that are happening locally, nationally, and even internationally, one has to wonder and even question, is God in control? There is a story about a Christian lady who had received news of the death of her husband. She could have doubted whether her God was in control at that moment, but she chose to trust God and to believe God that He was. We can take a peek into her level of faith by the way she responds of the news of this tragic incident. Her friends exclaim, "Oh my gosh, he's dead." Her answer was very simple. But our God is in heaven, and He does whatever He wants to do. Psalms 115:3. See, people around her were quite moved by her resolve and by her confidence in her Savior. She had always believed that God was in control throughout their lives, but now, under such difficult and life-changing events, she remained unmoved, steadfast in her faith. Why? What enabled her to say such powerful words and with such calmness? She also remembered that she had read in the Bible that Psalms 139:5-16 says, "You have closed me in from behind and in front. You have laid your hand upon me. Your eyes saw me when I was put together, and all the days of my life were written in your book before any of them came to be." Which means that she knew that God's hand was upon her and upon any part of her family, and regardless of what would happen with her family, with her husband and children, she knew that God was in control. Isaiah chapter 46 verses 9 and 10 says, "Remember the things of long ago, for I am God, and there is no other. I am God, there is none like me. I tell from the beginning what will happen in the end. And from times long ago I will tell of things which have not been done, saying, my word will stand, and I will do all that pleases me." Sometimes we think that God is a capricious God and He does things at His own desire without thinking about His children. But it's quite the contrary. Everything that is happening in the world is with the interests and the good of what's going to happen in the life of His children and of the believers. I think Daniel understood this when he wrote in Daniel chapter 4 verse 35, "All the people of the earth are thought of as nothing. He does as He pleases with the angels of heaven and the people on earth. No one can hold back His hand and say to Him, 'What have you done?'" You see, I believe that this woman's faith was so mature because she had cultivated her trust and her love because she had a good relationship with her God. If you maintain your relationship with the Almighty, then you can say with confidence and calmness, even when tragedy hits or illness seems to creep in, or when those bad news seems to surprise you. But our God is in heaven, and He does what He wants to do. You see, you and I have a choice when we get these bad news, when they come our way. We can accept them, or we can reject them. We reject them by asking, "Why? Why, Lord? Why me?" Or complain and continue to whine and live a life of bitterness. Or we can accept and say, just like the psalmist and just like this young lady, "But our God is in heaven, and He does what He wants to do." After we say those words, there's a peace that comes upon us, knowing that God is doing everything for our good. So today, remember, whatever's going to happen in your life, God is in control. He is still on His throne. He still loves you. So my word to you is, keep trusting Jesus. And there's an old song, an old hymn that we would sing and say, "Oh, how sweet it is to trust in Jesus." Continue having your faith in a God that's in control. God bless you.